What's up, guys? Happy to see all your smiling faces once again. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about some of the benefits of exercise that not everyone is talking about. After the intro. The body is just amazing. It practically has sensors for every physiological process that exists in our body. Therefore, if I can understand what triggers each physiological process, I would be able to use this to know how to obtain the results that I want of my body. This is practically the same when it comes to exercise. If I know the reaction to each type of exercise at a physiological level, I will be able to gain understanding to know each type of exercise and how it will work best for me and help me achieve and reach the type of physique that I want. Basically, if I want to lose weight or if I want to increase my metabolism, I would be able to know what exercise works best. And if I want to naturally increase my hormonal levels to help me heal my tissues and live longer, we would be able to know how to achieve just that. So let's begin. For simplicity, there are three main types of training exercises that are related to helping us achieve more muscle tone, hypertrophy, and strength exercises. The difference between these three types of different trainings are related to the quantity of weight that you will be able to handle, because it's obviously not the same thing to carry the maximum amount of weight that you can carry than to carry barely any weight to do dozens of repetitions. As we understand this process and physiological reaction that happens when we exert a certain amount of effort, we will be able to predict the outcome as we change and adjust the amount of weight we're lifting each time. As you can see in this image, if we want to achieve more defined physique, the total percentage of weight doesn't go above 50% of the total weight we're capable of lifting, also relying on the higher number of repetitions. For hypertrophy, we need about 70% of the total weight we're capable of lifting and doing a total amount of repetitions between 8 and 12 reps. And lastly, for strength exercises, we need to use weight that's somewhere between 85 and 90% of the total weight we're capable of lifting, while also doing somewhere around 6 repetitions per exercise. As you can see, these numbers are very close to what everyone already knows. Surely you already know that there is a big difference between a hypocaloric diet and a diet in which you have intermittent fasting included with regards of your caloric intake. In one, you eat well above your needed caloric intake versus the other one in which you eat very few calories, and the difference is a lot. Here we observe the same thing happening. While these three types of training may look similar to you, but the consequences in the organism are very different. When you choose to follow certain training to achieve more definition or look more ripped, we will be doing a higher number of repetitions to help your body increase the tone of each muscle while it's at rest. And we see this more often in types of training that women often follow. Very often this type of training gives poor results when it comes to aesthetics. Instead, this is more helpful when it comes to helping you achieve better posture. On the other hand, hypertrophic are much more common types of training in the results and in the routines that men often follow. And these do 70% weight lift with a typical 8 to 12 repetitions per exercise. This type of exercise comes more from the perspective of gaining more muscle mass in relation to the amount that you currently have right now. It's important that you understand that the process of hypertrophy is not a natural one in the sense of how we've been changing with the society and industrialization. Before industrialization and society as we know it, this type of training did not exist. Instead, we use our physiques to move, travel, and walk across vast areas of the land. For example, moving across the Great Savannah to get food, hunting, farming, and we utilized whatever muscle mass we had to accomplish such tasks. But hypertrophy as a training did not exist, making it somewhat of a new concept, and it lacks some physiological advantage that other types of trainings do provide. While hypertrophy can be a great type of training, there are some things that I think you should be aware of as you continue your training. And that is that as you increase your muscle mass in the sense of your body becoming more efficient, it doesn't really make sense that you add up so much muscle mass. And of course, the amount of muscle mass would greatly vary depending on your body type. But for simplicity's sake, just think of adding 30 to 40 pounds of muscle on top of your current weight. The first setback with this is that it requires big caloric intake, and secondly, it requires continuous effort from your body to maintain that mass. As a result, this generates wear in the sense that it will diminish years of your life due to the caloric intake in relation to the cell hyperplasia. This is somewhat similar to being overweight with the aspect of having excessive amount of mass. In this case, having an excessive amount of muscle mass that comes from hypertrophy and hyperplasia. This will generate some wear on your longevity. And if you're interested in knowing more of how this occurs at a cellular level, please leave a comment down below so we can post in the future. Now back to the subject. If you're instead looking for something that's more efficient for your body to work at its peak, you probably have realized that instead we need a higher amount of strength in a smaller volume of muscle mass and total body size. This generates a lower wear at a cellular level, and as we sustain this whole body as a whole, this also comes with a great benefit in agility with less wear. This is one of the reasons that we've come to discover about strength training, and more important, its scientific validity. This is why more people and organizations have given a higher significance to strength training when it comes to choosing a type of training. This main aspect of strength training versus any other type of physical training is that it increases hormone called somatropin, also known as a growth hormone. This is key because human growth hormone, while it may not make an adult growth in stature, it would help in renovating those tissues that get damaged as we exercise at a faster rate. For example, if you want to replace fat for muscle, or just simply want to remain looking younger, this will mean that you are going to need high levels of somatropin in order to either repair those tissues that were damaged during the training or produce new ones as you try to lose more weight. So any process that allows you to increase your levels of growth and growth hormone in your body will keep you looking younger. Today we have so many different treatments among those intramuscular injections of somatropin. However, they come at a very high price tag and quite difficult to obtain. So instead, for the rest of us, we can instead increase our growth hormone naturally by exercising. And if you're asking which is the best exercise that is going to bring you the most benefit when it comes to producing this hormone, the answer is strength training. Think about it this way. If you want a higher body efficiency and a longer longevity without suffering from diseases along the way, what you will want to do, metaphorically speaking, is to have a car that is much more efficient when it comes to its engine and overall body size, as there are many different aspects that will make a car much more efficient than a large vehicle. With this analogy, you can compare the effect that's generated on your body by doing strength training and at the same time giving you a higher amount of strength but not increasing your overall body size so much, which now you will understand why it's not ideal to have a great amount of muscle mass and why it's not helpful on the long term. Now that you understand a bit about the benefits of strength training, you're probably wondering what exactly is strength training and how can I perform these exercises more effectively. For this, I'm going to give you the link down below where you'll be able to download a small training guide that you will be able to use as a template for your training. The problem with the exercises today is that it has a very bad marketing strategy, because the majority of these benefits that you know about exercising, it's about cardiovascular benefits, which as a whole, these ads are composed towards those that need to lose weight. Exercise as a whole does not help you to lose weight because of the burned calories, but instead when you begin to read more of the literature related to the amount of calories that are being burned and the amount of exercise being done, you can notice that there is no correlation between the two. It's not as linear as we think. It's not like saying if I take 100 calories now, I'll be able to burn them if I do such and such amount of exercise. The result that we do obtain from exercising is to elevate the amount of body mass, giving us a higher level of lean mass with respect to fat levels. Naturally, this increases our metabolism and helps us to dispose of more calories as these levels of lean mass increase. And this is the real benefits that you will obtain and that will lead you to lose weight. If your goal is to increase your metabolism to lose weight more effectively, then there are certain types of exercises that will help you accomplish this, like strength training or high intensity interval training. For me, and this is just me, one of the greatest benefits of exercise is that strength training comes with a great neurological reward. And this is because muscle strength increases as the number of neurons increase to make each type of muscle fiber contract. This type of process, which is common in strength training, causes an increase in neurons thanks to a substance called neurotropin. The role of neurotropin is that to create neurons, which means that if I want to remain younger and have a healthier brain, the one thing that works best is to increase the quantity of neurotropin and growth hormone. These two benefits can be easily obtained by doing strength training or strength exercises. In fact, there is literature of people of 70 years of age that still produce growth hormone at the same rate of a 30-year-old person simply by doing strength training. And while it may not give you 40 years back to your organism, it's going to give you the benefits of regenerating your tissues at a much faster rate and at whatever age you find yourself. Some of the greatest benefits of exercise are at a neurological level because they increase dopamine, they increase serotonin, which are hormones and neurotransmitters that are key for helping you feel better, work better, and even learn better. In the case of learning always takes place as we change the conformation of the networks of neurons, which means that if I want to change this network, I will need to produce new neurons and new connections between the neurons. In order for this to happen, neurotropin is key. This is why physical training is important. Remember that the reward you want is important to keep in mind in order to maintain your goals long term. Your goals or purpose is a mechanism that drives a lot of the motivation that helps us release dopamine, and dopamine being the neurotransmitter that gives you the feeling of being rewarded. Keep in mind that strength training and high intensity interval training will give you a higher reward of dopamine. And if you want to know how naturally increase your levels of dopamine, don't forget to look at my other video on dopamine. And if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe, because we'll be posting more videos like this one every week. Join us as we learn more and more about how to improve our lives and our health. Oh, and don't forget, download the guide down below. See ya.